Loops are incredibly powerful tools for really leveraging a computer's ability to do something over and over again. So there's a couple different styles of loops that will be used for different situations. So for this program, we are going to be using a loop style called a do-while loop, pretty similar to many other programming languages. So I've already got the scanner included here. So what we're going to do is we will have just a simple number guessing game just to go over the basics of this. So what we're going to do is we'll start with our secret number, and we'll just set that to be equal to 5. And the user will be making a guess. Okay. So now what we want to do is we're going to prompt the user for a guess, and then we'll determine if they are correct. System.out.println, print, try to guess the secret number. And then we'll leave that here. Our guess will get the value of input.nextInt. Go, and then what we'll do is we will say if the guess is equal to the secret, what we'll do is we will say system.out.println correct. The number was secret. Of course, they'll know this because they just entered it, but whatever. So otherwise, what we'll do is we'll print the opposite. Else, too bad. The number was secret. So we'll just save this and run, see how this works. Try to guess the secret number. I'm going to guess 3. Oh, no. Too bad. The number was 5. And then I can run this again. And because I'm looking at the code, I will know this is a terrible guessing game. I'm going to guess 5. Now, what I want to do is I want to change this program around so that it will just keep asking them until they actually get it. So we're going to build that into the program with a loop. So a do-while loop starts with the word do. And you kind of set it up like this. So do, and then you have all of the stuff that's going to happen in the loop. So we are going to repeatedly ask the user what the secret number is. Now, because these 2 lines of code are part of the loop, we need to tab them forward. And then what's going to happen is at the end, this is where we're going to put in our loop condition. So our loop condition is going to show up at the bottom here, and it's going to work like this. So we're going to put while, and then in here, we are going to put the condition for when we want to loop. So what I want to do here is I want to loop if they did not get the correct answer. So if the guess does not equal the secret number, then what we're going to do is we're going to loop. So if this is a true statement, if true, then loop. So if we get to the bottom and the guess that they entered was not the secret, we are going to go back to the beginning of the loop. So you can think about this like an if statement. So if this is the case, then loop. So what we'll do is we'll run this again. And let's try to guess the secret number. I'm going to put in a 3, a 2, 1,000, and then, oh, it's probably 5. Hey, I got it. So that's good, except now I don't have this sort of included. The too bad the secret number was So the thing here is to think if this is an if statement, if this is the case and then loop, we can actually write this as a compound statement with, multiple terms in it. So what I want to do here then is I want to put in a second condition that they decided not to quit. Okay? So we'll put a quit condition. Let's say if they enter 0, then it will quit the program. So I want it to loop for two things. I need to make sure that the guess does not equal the secret and they did not enter a 0. So this is an and condition. So and the guess does not equal 0. Okay? So now it's going to loop in both of those scenarios. Now we should also be telling them about this entering 0 thing. So I'm going to just do that at the beginning with just an instruction line. Try to guess the secret number or 0 to quit. Okay? Hopefully they'll notice that. So I'll run this again. We're going to get our instruction line at the top. Maybe I should have worded it differently so that it stands out, but that's fine. This is an example. So I'm going to enter a 4, a 10. I give up. So if I enter a 0, what happens is it exits the loop. The guess was 0. So it gets down to the bottom and it says, too bad, the number was, and then it displays the secret number. So we can make small improvements to this still. What I want to do is I want to incorporate a counter. So we're going to start a counter, and whenever we do a counter, it nearly always needs to be initialized at 0. That's pretty important here. So I can just put a note, starts at 0. We're going to see different versions of counters, so this is not always the case, but typically they start at 0. And then what I want to do is every time they enter a guess, I want to do counter plus plus. So we're going to add 1 to the counter. And then at the very end of the program, I want to tell the user how many guesses they made. So, I'm going to do a println. You made, and then we'll put the number here, counter guesses. Put an exclamation mark, keep it interesting. So I'm going to run the program. And what we could do is guess the secret number. I'm going to guess 3 and then 7. And then I'm going to put in the 5. And it says we made 3 guesses. So now what I want to do is I want to try this again, and I want to get it wrong. So I want to put in a 3, a 7, and then I give up. 0. Now here's our problem. It says, too bad, the number was 5. You made 3 guesses. But wait a second, I didn't really make 3 guesses because this last one wasn't the guess condition. This one was the end, loop condition. So this shouldn't have counted as a guess. So now we have to take a look at our program and figure out how we want to include that. So very often people will do something like this. This is wrong. They'll put something afterwards like, if the guess is 0, then I want to do a counter minus minus to remove the one that it added. Or they might put an if statement afterwards here. But if you think about the logic of this, what we want to do is we want to do this when they enter a guess. We don't want to have the logic be, oh, they got it wrong, let's take off one of their guesses, because that doesn't really seem to fit. So what we want to do is keep the logic sensible to the program, and we want to do this only if they made a guess. So the way that we would do that is realize, oh, there's an if statement. This should be a conditional statement here. So what we want to do is we're going to keep an if here. So if the guess does not equal 0, then this is when we're going to increase the counter. So we don't increase the counter every time. We only increase the counter when the user makes a valid guess. So we can run this again and try to guess the secret number. 1,000. You know what? I give up. So if I put in a 0, now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 entries that I made, but it makes the proper guess amount at 3. So what we'll do is we'll continue to learn how to use a do-while loop. There's some significant variable types that we're going to be using, like the counters, and then we'll be moving on to some different loop styles because they're very powerful for handling a lot of different algorithms that we want to program.